Hello and welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. It is January 19th. It's Monday, Martin Luther King's birthday, which my racist former customers, when I would say that I'm going to be off on Monday, there's no mail delivery, would always say to me, why? And I would tell them, and then they say, oh, yeah, that guy. Okay. So, I'm happy today for a very personal reason, and it's because there's a tree outside my window and the condo comes by every once in a while to make sure that the branches don't get too close to the building. Now that they put the new roof on, they really want to make sure the tree doesn't impede the building or just simply dump all the leaves into the gutter all the time, etc., etc. And of course, that's included in my maintenance fee. So, like, if you wanted to do that at your own home, you would probably have to pay a lot. So for people who always complain about maintenance fees, think about those things. I don't have to worry about a garbage truck coming down my street. When I throw out my garbage, the receptacle's way up by the front of the complex, so I don't have to smell the garbage area. Things like that. There are a lot of nice things about living in a condo, even though a lot of people say I would never do that. They tell you what to do, and yeah, of course they do tell you some things that you have to do. Okay, but I mean, if you're that upset about it, you wouldn't be very good working for someone. I don't understand how those people can actually work for someone when they don't want to follow a condo association's rules or um, a uh, a town's rules. You can't leave 4 million children's toys on your front lawn, things like that. You have to have a gate around your pool. I mean, if you can't follow those kind of rules, I really don't see how you can stand working for someone. I couldn't stand working for someone, and at the same time, I didn't really have those kind of rules. Kind of. Um, I guess I don't know. I just filled out the public survey to try to win $1,000 in groceries, which of course will not happen. However, why not? I had the time. Okay. If you remember last time I was on, I was talking about Donald Trump saying he wanted to purchase Greenland and not use the military. And so he he didn't let that joy in me last too long. He wrote a letter last night, a really immature kind of letter, in which he said that, well, if he can't get the Nobel Peace Prize, then he's not going to think about peace anymore. And he's just going to do what he wants, and what he wants is to have Greenland. Now, believe it or not, it was written, God, so ridiculously infantile way that I'm not really afraid of that now, believe it or not. Canada's not very afraid of it now either. However, they are sending troops themselves to Greenland. Uh, and you don't know how to respond to these things because I mean the world knows it's not dealing with a stable individual, but it's also a stable individual that blew up fishing boats killing almost 100 people around Venezuela and then swooped in and took the president out of Venezuela. Not that I like the president of Venezuela, but that is what they did. Without consulting Congress, he's shown that he has no rule of law as far as he's concerned. There is no rule of law. The only law is when ICE agents are terrorizing your community, don't stop them. And don't even tell them they're bad guys. Apparently, that's his rule of law. So the world now, again, they're starting to work around him. They're making trading agreements around the United States, not with the United States. And it's very possible they're just going to say, okay, Tariff King, whatever, we don't care if we ship anything to you, and we don't care if you ship anything to us. We don't care. So we're in a new era, folks. Happy Martin Luther King's birthday to everybody. You should really read the president's statement because it's so ridiculous. I didn't get my peace prize, and I stopped 8 wars, and I mean, that's not right. President of Norway, or the Prime Minister of Norway, has come on record saying he's explained to Trump that it's not the government of Norway that awards the Peace Prize. And I saw something very interesting yesterday. Oh man, the man's name was Phil, and he was much better presenter and funnier than me. And he was just wondering. He said aloud, now that FIFA has given the inaugural Peace Prize to Trump, they're sort of locked in, I guess, to having the World Cup here, but everybody's canceling because nobody's going to be allowed to go because no visas are going to be issued. So you can't root for your teams, I guess, if you love soccer and you don't have the kind of money to go see sporting events. You might be able to go to this one for cheap and always say, oh, I was at the World Cup in 2026. But this man, Phil, opined that I guess they didn't say it was an annual award. They just said it was the first one. Okay? So I guess technically they could say, well, we only have a World Cup once every 4 years, so we'll only give out a Peace Prize once every 4 years. And by then, Trump will be gone and everyone will forget about it. But I don't think people are going to forget about it because I think that Donald Trump's going to win the only Peace Prize. This other Phil guy said, who would really want to receive the second Peace Prize after Trump got the first one? It's like, if they stop giving them out, then the only recipients are going to be Trump and me. I don't want to be linked to Trump in that way. But anyway, good luck, FIFA, getting... Boy, oh boy, the world must be so... feeling left out of the World Cup. I'm sure they'll fill the stands one way or another. I mean, even if they have to pay people to go. George Soros has that big list of people that he pays. Maybe he could pay them. If they pay me, I'll go. I'll sit in the stands. I've seen one soccer game in my life, and I always said, soccer is like, unless you get a penalty kick, soccer's always like 0-0. Nobody scores. And I went to a game in Colombia, South America, and watched two teams in their league play. And the final score was 0-0. So it confirmed everything I ever thought. That was 30 years ago. And I mean, I think the beautiful thing about soccer is that everybody plays it. Because let's face it, all you need is a soccer ball. You don't need all the equipment that you need in basketball or football or any other sport, skiing. So everybody plays it. So it's kind of like it really is the world's sport. I'll concede on that. And anyone can get involved in the game all around the world. But other than that, I mean, and I'm not for rule changes because I've said many times, I still can't get used to football rule changes from 30 years ago, or the designated hitter in baseball and being only in one league, and it's just weird. But I don't see what they could do to make the game more exciting. Okay? I mean, everybody have a nice weekend, a nice Martin Luther King holiday, and a good Tuesday to start the rest of your week. Okay? Take care.